Hi everyone. So in today's video we will continue with the if condition. So I will simply write something so that you can understand. So if we will have that condition here. Okay. Condition to be checked whether it is true or not. So and yes. Okay. So and the command. So whatever you want it to happen, you write within the two curly braces. So you can write any number of commands until those are within the two curly braces, everything is fine. So what actually you are trying to do is you want if I write an algorithm, so let's say if something is true, and just something is true, okay, you want to create an action, right? So let's write action 1. You want to do the action 1, action, right? If something has happened, you want to take an action, do an action. Okay, let's write it in a small letters. You want to do an action. Fine. So that is this is an algorithm, right? I wrote it for you to understand. So this is an algorithm. So let's say if your son studying well, so if your son studying well is true, okay, maybe your action can be giving him a gift. Okay, so this is the studying well is the condition, so that comes in the condition location of the if condition. If and gift is the command, that means whatever you want to do, if that is true, there is a command. So the studying well, the condition part, okay, condition part can either be true or false. Your son may study and he may not study. So if it is true, you will do something, but it may not be always true. So the condition may become false as well. So if it is false, what you will do, you will not give the gift. You will simply skip that action. You will not do it. So the same thing, if whatever you write here, if the condition it becomes false, your son studying is false, studying well is false, you simply skip the command. That means you simply skip the whatever you write within the two curly brackets, you simply skip and you will come to the next line. Yes or no? Next line means I'm a fool. Okay, next line means this line. Okay, line number 8. So I think this is very much understandable now. So in the example we saw something like if x is greater than 18, we serial print some values, right? So for as according to Arduino coding, so we serial printed something like greater than 18 or something, more than 18 or something. So it's up to you. Okay, 18, more than 18. So something like that. So this is very easy, but I want you to understand the concept with the algorithm. So you look at the algorithm and look at here. Okay, so let's say you want to do a different thing. So okay, so if something is true, you want to take an action, right? Now we are in a different scenario. You want to behave like this. If something is true, you want to take an action. If it is not true, that means if it is the other way around, if it is false, you want to take another action. Such kind of scenarios may happen. So let's say you are going in the road street, so you want to go to the school or to the movie theater. So you stop in the road and you call your friend, okay, and ask him whether let's go to the class or let's go to the movie theater. So if he says yes, then you go to the movie theater, and if he says no, I'm not coming, and you go to the school. So two different actions. So if your expectation is true, that he says yes, you go to a movie theater. If it is false, you go to school. Okay, let's say he's not from school. If he says yes to the movie, you go to the movie, otherwise you go to school. So two different actions. So for that, we can write a scenario like this. If something is true, okay, so for the people who doesn't have any idea about if condition, this will help. If you know if condition, then this is not a big deal to you, right? So let's do action 1. So action 1 may be going to the movie theater. Action 1. So let's forget about that. Okay. Action 1. So otherwise else. Okay. So then I will write if something, keep the if okay, if something is whatever that something is false, or let's say if it is false, you will simply do the action 2. What is action 2? You are going to school. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so like that. So remember this false part, if it is false, the line number 4 is very much connected with line number 3, because if without line number 3 you don't have the line number 2, because the otherwise part is always related to if this is true we do this, if this is false we do that. So always the both lines are connected to the if whatever you write if. So this scenario, this to implement this algorithm, that second one, the algorithm in the line number 3 and 4, our coding knowledge is not enough. Yes or no? Because we have a solution. If this is true we can take action 1, but if this is not true, if this is false, we have to action 2, right? We don't do action 1, we have to do action 2. The problem is if it is false we can avoid doing action 1. This is enough using this if condition, because only this is true, the if condition will run, right? So if that is false, if condition will skip it. But what I want to happen is skipping is not enough. You have to skip, and also you have to do action 2. Okay, so you can consider this like if your son is studying well, you take action 1. So what is your action 1? Maybe giving him a gift. Okay, so if it is false, if he is not studying well, so I will write like if he is not studying well, okay, you may have to send him to without giving him a gift, maybe you may have to cut his expenses. So pocket money cut. So I will take it a little bit away so that I can have some space. Pocket money cut. So you see two different things. So if he is studying well is true, gift. If that is false, if he is not studying well, you are giving pocket money cut. So so otherwise also, like what I can do is I can let's keep it this way, right? So if it's false, something else you have to do. So for this, so simply what we have to do is, for this if condition we have to add some other thing, extra things, the second action. So how to do the second action, I will tell you. So our knowledge is not enough, so we will study a new thing. So let's say condition, if condition is true, you have to do something. Okay, so let's not have the serial println, let's have a command. Let's try it like command. Okay, all good. Command. So the command is the condition is the studying well, command is the gift, or you say condition is the something, whatever the true has to become true, command is the action 1. So now you have to give the action 2 if the first action is false. So if this thing becomes false, you have to do the another action. So how to do that? Because if it is false, obviously we will skip this if area, but we have to write another thing that runs only this is false. Understand? This has to be skipped, and also another part should be running. Where what we have something like this is called else. So we have an else. So the else also will have an open and close brackets. Don't worry if you don't understand, just look at me. Open and curly brackets, and the second action, whatever the action 2 you want, you can write within the else. So I will write the action 1 and action 2 here, so that will be easy to you to understand. So this is action 1, okay, and this is action 2. Okay, so how this program will work is, if will and also remember before that, this if will end here, right? The area for the if is these two curly braces, and also the area for the else is these two curly braces. So if you want to do something within the else, the whole lines you can write within the curly brackets. So whatever you write within the line will be running when the else is happening. So how does this program work? This program will come here, line number 7, and it will check the condition. If the condition is true, okay, if the condition is true, what this program will do is, it will come here to the line 7, the open curly braces, and it will do whatever the action you are saying within the two curly braces. So if there are more than one actions, it will do all the actions. So whatever you write, it will do, and it will come to the line number 9, and it will know if this if condition is true and I have done the action that is supposed to be done. And then it will see there's an else you have written that is respected to the if. So else is the opposite side of the if. So this else is always connected with this if. So or you can say this else is for this if. Okay. So like husbands and wife. So this else is the wife of this if. Okay. So if this become true, I did the action, and I know if this condition is true, else cannot be true. You understand? If your son is studying well, if that is true, not studying cannot be true. You understand what I am talking about? So if condition becomes true, else part will be skipped. Okay, because if this is true, we know, right? So it cannot be false. So whatever you want to happen while it is false doesn't have to be done now, because we know condition is true. So it will see there's an else, and it will simply skip the else area. What is the else area? That open and curly braces of the else. So it will skip that else area, or open and curly brackets, and it will simply go to the next line. Okay, so action 2 will not happen. So that means your son is studying well. So this if condition is true, so you are giving a gift as action 1. So not studying, we don't need to check. So else part will be simply skipped. Okay, we don't get into that. When we will have to check into the else part, let's say this condition is false. So it will come and check if condition is true or not, if condition is false. So that means this whatever you write within these two curly brackets should not happen. Action 1 should not happen. So the program knows. Earlier we didn't have an else condition, so we skipped the if and we moved on. Now we have an else condition connected with the if. That means we have a wife for the husband. So he comes and see, he has a wife. So what is that else? So what does it mean? If you have an else, what does it mean is, if the condition within the if is false, you have to get into the else. If you write an else, that is the meaning of that. That means I said if your son is studying well, you give the gift. So if I don't say anything else, if he doesn't study, you don't give the gift and you shut up. You skip that. But I am saying if he is not studying, so that is connected with that, right? If he is not studying, you have to cut his pocket money. Action 2 is there. So if the if condition is false, you have to do the action 2. That means whatever you write within the respective else, the program has to do. So the program will come here, check, and it will find it is false. It will skip the two curly braces. Whatever you write within the curly braces will be skipped, and it will find there's an else condition, else. So I should get into the else, because if has been skipped. If is false, and also there's an else. So that means the programmer wants to happen something to happen when the if condition become false. That is why he has an else loop, else condition. So it will get into the else. So that means if condition is true, false, so it will get into the else, and it will do the action 2. And it will come to the, once it is completed, it will come to the final line of the else, the close curly bracket, and it will move on to the next line, and it will go. So now if your son is not studying, that means if condition is false. So studying is false. See, studying well is false. So it has to go to the action 2. It has to cut the pocket money. So it will get into the, so that part you write within the else. So it will get into the else, and it will do the action 2, pocket money cut, and it will move on. So earlier what did we have is, we had only one if condition without else. So if he is not studying well, you just skip giving gift and you moved on. You understand what I'm talking about? Now we have an order. If he is not studying, we have to do something else. So that is why we have an else condition. So if you need the else condition, you have to write like that. If you need some other action to happen, if the if condition become false, you have to write an else condition, else part for that particular if. Okay. So this else is always connected with the if. Okay. If, otherwise, if, else. Simple, right? So that's it. So I think you will have a clear-cut idea after this video. So if you don't understand, rewatch it. So this video itself is lengthy. So in the next video, I will explain how actually you can implement this if-else condition in a programming environment. And also please remember what I taught here. And if you don't understand in the future videos, please come back to this video and have a look so that you will understand what if else means. Thanks you guys. Consider subscribing us. I will catch you in the next video.